Honorable members, there is the agenda on the screen there. Can I check if you are moving for the adoption of that agenda? Honorable members, there is the agenda on the screen. Any mover for the adoption of the agenda? Honorable Sangoni.
Chair, can we please, I'm seeking clarity, Chairperson, on the agenda. That point number 2, legal opinion, Honorable Souls, can we be clarified what that is, Chair? I'm raising it because in the last meeting where we were having a discussion about legal opinions, I think we had, as the African National Congress, indicated our discomfort with legal opinions that are either coming from parties or, I don't know, in this case, from individual members. So could we just have clarity on what that is, Chair? My understanding of what Honorable Souls had been asked to do was to make, not only Honorable Souls, but all parties to make inputs on the legal opinion from Parliament if they chose to, which I would think then we would just get a report of that if necessary, but not to have a standalone item, which is Honorable Souls' legal opinion. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, it is not Honorable Souls' legal opinion. Honorable Souls had made a submission to the Parliament legal section, and so the legal section of Parliament will give a feedback on the consideration they made. Yeah? Yeah. The people who are dealing with ICT in Parliament, there must be an authority on matters like this. Are you clarified, Honorable Sangon?
Yes, I'm clarified, Chair, in terms of what the intention is, but perhaps then we may just want it to read feedback on the parliamentary legal opinion. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
And then do we move with a break?
Yeah, to fix this.
Yes, Chair, we will move for the adoption of the agenda and request that we pause and allow this thing to be fixed. It's Mhlungu, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Bredenbach.
Good afternoon, Chairperson, honorable members, and to my colleagues as well. No, what I'm saying, Chairperson, is that the opinion last week, so members should have it.
My understanding is that the honorable member wants to check whether the feedback that you are presenting today, is it a written feedback? Yes.
Good afternoon,
Yeah,
Chairperson, honorable members, and to my colleagues as well. No, what I'm saying, Chairperson, is that the opinion which Chairperson is making reference to was sent to Bonani last week, so members should have it.
My understanding is that the honorable member wants to check whether the feedback that you are presenting today, is it a written feedback?
Correct.
Yes, so she's requesting that the copy of the feedback be made available.
Yeah, we sent it to Bonani last week. Members should have it.
Okay. Where is Bonani? Okay. It's fine. Bonani will come. SC, good afternoon. Let's start with you. Item number 1 is yourself. May you please take us through your presentation.
Good afternoon, Honourable Chair, Honourable members, my colleagues from Parliament and on our side. Chair, we've got, I was going to ask Lerato to present this to the Honourable Committee, but I don't think she can hear at the moment. I don't know what whether she can. I don't know where's the IT person. Yeah, but she can't. She messaged me and she said the line is now on mute. I cannot hear what is being said.
She says she can't hear. She still says she can't hear.
She's still not.
It's on now. She can hear.
Is it on now? Okay.
Good afternoon, Lerato. Are you able to follow us? Thank you so much. We have just shared the hosting rights with you. You may proceed. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chair. If you can just give me a minute, let me see if I can share my screen.
Yeah, no, we can see you on the screen. Your presentation, I mean, you can proceed.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon again, Chair. Good afternoon, committee members and members of the technical team. I've been asked by by our council team to present our report in relation to the witnesses that still remain to be called and the proposal that had been made by committee members at the meeting on the 15th of October. So I'm just going to go through our report and the schedule, and then we can then discuss what is being proposed. So I think the first thing that I'd like to be able to highlight is that we have been requested to prepare a schedule. I see there's a hand up. Should I pause?
Honorable Scosa, just hold Advocate Zikalala. Let's hear Honorable Scosana.
Thank you, Chair, and my thousand apology to Zikalala. Chair, I think we are being ambushed about this hybrid meeting. We're never told. I mean, we could have left as well and be somewhere that we thought it's a physical meeting as agreed. I'm not sure whether other members knew about this, that we're going to have a hybrid meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Look, the decision that the meeting is physical, we were sitting here, all of us, when that decision was taken. And it was not even proposed by the chair that the meeting must be physical. The proposal came from the floor, it came from yourselves on the ground. And I checked around with everybody, all of you said we are fine 1 o'clock. But you know, when we arrive here, for the meeting to succeed, if members come here and say, can we accommodate this and that? It's an inconvenience that as and when a decision is taken, we must think about it. So that we don't put the chair in a difficult position. I did a round yesterday asking everybody, and all of you said, no, let's go physical. And then some 30 minutes before the meeting starts, members come here and say, can we do this? Can we do that? You are very right, Honorable Skosana. When you take a decision, please live by your decision. We don't have to be explaining things like this. Okay. Can we proceed, Lerato?
Let me just, okay. Yeah, now I'm saying
just stop the advocate Zikala. Let's hear Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. I think when we started, Hello? Yes. Where is it? Now, I'm saying the
you will decide on the witnesses that you want them to appear before you, but not only decide even the sequence. So what she's doing now, she's making a presentation to say, from the witnesses that have appeared to you, it emerges before us as the legal team that it will be important for the following witnesses to appear before
Let me just
help
help
you.
you.
If you check number one, remember you have said that as a committee you will decide on the witnesses that you want them to appear before you, but not only decide. The CFO. It emerges before us as the legal team that it will be important for the following witnesses. And then she will come and say, appear this second category. If you check, it's a category number one says that General Mkhwanazi, we think if the committee is very for sure it's without question. And number two, she says, and then there is a third category of the witnesses that so far we are unable to link them with any evidence that has been presented before you. And what is your view or your decision as the committee on this category of witnesses? Can we allow her to? I think that is the understanding that we must establish so that when we come to discuss, we know that the list in green is the list that the committee must prioritize who must come first. And then the second category, which is in a blue, is a category of witnesses that you may have to decide whether they must make submissions or you still want to see them. This is just a proposal. Okay. May you proceed, Advocate Zikala. ICT, your sound has gone dim. If you can please help. Advocate Zikalala, can you hear us? If you hear us, you can proceed. Jali, you disrupted our meeting. SC.
Honourable Chair, honourable members, if there's a technical difficulty, can I proceed with the presentation? Okay.
Do we not have copies of the shade? Can we not make
Don't we have copies?
just one copy?
We have a hard copy here, yes? Or maybe can you move our item, and if it's possible, and we can have copies made and.
Fine, let's allow Andy to
Move it as you speak.
present the legal opinion.
She can hear.
Yeah, she can hear.
Chair, apparently Lerato can hear and she'll move it as a speak.
It's gone.
Okay, she can hear us. Advocate Zigalala, are you there?
No, but she can. But she
Or maybe can you move our item?
Okay, no, it's fine.
And if it's possible, and we can have copies made and. Thank you, Chairperson, honourable members.
Fine, let's allow Andy to present the legal
Just
opinion.
to recap, Chair, honourable Chairperson, and honourable available to accommodate a fairly long list of witnesses. We've had to select those witnesses first who, in our view, are necessary witnesses in order for us to at least address the terms of reference of this honourable committee. Some witnesses who do have something relevant to say, but from whom we can get information, write to them, ask them questions, and ask them to respond. And there's some other witnesses we of the view are not either necessary or that there's a need for them to give us information because we have sufficient, or the committee has sufficient information before it. Now, for ease of reference, the blocks that you see there, the green is those witnesses that is those witnesses that we propose being called. The yellow block is the witnesses who should be called but who's either unavailable and whose further dates are not available. There's some witnesses indicated by the blue block who's required to give some limited evidence, and who we suggest can give us written responses. And there's some witnesses whose relevance at this stage is unclear, and should either be considered for if there is going to be another phase, then we could do so. We kicked off with Lerato, if you can just move to Kumalo. Is obviously an important and a key witness, the project leader of the PKTT, but we understand that he is going to be called by the Commission probably from next week and give evidence for 2 to 3 weeks. We're also not sure about his medical condition. Lieutenant General Sentumele, that's with the dockets, who received an instruction from Lieutenant General Kumalo to move the dockets. We submit it that evidence is not strictly necessary. In Kabinde, the name has cropped up repeatedly, is an important witness, and we've proposed calling Kabinde on 13 and 14 November. Major General Rabi is in the National Commissioner's office, and who's the one, certainly according to General Sabia, who drafted the letter of 12 January, and the subsequent letter of 4 February, giving effect to the instructions or directive of the minister. There too, we don't feel it's strictly necessary to call Major General Rabi. We can ask him about it. Brigadier Letoko, who's in communications, Sabia relies on an email received from Brigadier Letoko, which he says is the same thing as receiving an instruction from the National Commissioner to give effect to the directives. Lieutenant General Puleng Dipani, we regard as an important witness, dealing with the finances in SAPS and the budgets. We've proposed 27, 28 November, that's if those days are available. Similarly, procurement, the Medicare contract, although one of our parliamentary comments had pointed out, I think, Tracy, that there is a report from the Auditor General about, is it from you? No, someone in the team said that perhaps we should just get the report from the Auditor General about the supply chain in SAPS and some improvements that had been suggested.
Thank you, Chair. Once again, when they prepare this thing, when you say General Sibula, it's incorrect. There's only one general, it's the National Commissioner. They must say it is Lieutenant General Sibula or Major General Sibula, as they've done with others. Thank you. Yeah.
So is Lieutenant General Sibula we've suggested that the relevance of that witness is perhaps unclear and should perhaps be referred to the Portfolio Committee on Police. Similarly, Major General Mukhale, Lieutenant General Mosekile does have relevance, was acting National Commissioner at the time, and we suggest requesting a written response. Brigadier Kuneni is the investigating officer in the cases that have been brought, and where search and seizure warrants were obtained on the basis of Brigadier Kuneni's affidavit. We recommend that Brigadier Kuneni's evidence be referred to a later date. Major General Motsepe, we suggest obtaining a written response. Lieutenant General Manamela, we're not clear about what the relevance is, and if called, should be called at a later date. Similarly, General Julius Mkhwanazi, who was mentioned in the context of Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department. General Johan Boyson, I think, I'm not sure, is he retired? I think he's retired, but I think the relevance of his evidence would have related to the Cato Manor, the Cato Manor squad that was disbanded. I'm not sure whether it was disbanded immediately or over a period of time. So that evidence can also be deferred. Major General Wally Roda, I think he of Pala Pala fame. Similarly, the Inspector General of Intelligence, it's not recorded here because, Honourable Chair, Honourable Members, I'd received a call just before coming here from Council, instructed now to act for the IG, and she told me that he's not refusing to testify, but because he's under suspension, he doesn't feel he should. I held a different view. I said, for the reason that he's under suspension, yes.
That is a separate matter on the agenda.
Oh.
Yeah. It's there on item number 3.
Okay,
you will come and present it separate.
Okay. Thank you. But an important witness, nevertheless, on our list, Mr. Brown Mkhotsi, I think obviously an important witness that we need to call. The status of Usumuzi Matlala.
I think what you should do with there must be consistency in your coding. Brown Mkhotsi must be, is it gold or what? Yeah, it can't be green. Important witness is gold. Do you see it at number?
I think green is the witnesses to be called.
No, but do you see what number 19 is?
Yeah, but we've got under the gold is proposed witnesses should be called, but it's either unavailable and or further date for evidence not available. We'll have to subpoena him to come and give evidence.
Okay.
I'm not sure, the expert on authority of the minister. I don't think it's necessary. That's a legal argument. Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, Lieutenant Mkhwanazi makes allegations against the witness, not immediately relevant or to be called. Similarly, Mr. Richard Ndluli has actually requested us to call him, but we can't accommodate him. Lieutenant Godfrey Labia, who's retired, head of the Walks, would be a very interesting witness, but we feel not strictly necessary at this stage. And similarly, Mr. Haas, whose name is cropped up in relation to former Minister Nkunu. So These are the dates, proposed witness hearing schedule, Honourable Chair. On the 12th of November, that we call Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, at the request of the committee in relation to the allegation made against former Minister Cele, which was withdrawn, so that he could explain that and also face any further questions. And just to add, a charge has also now been laid against Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi by Honourable Adams. He's quite happy to appear before the committee to explain himself. There is a former IGI witness that has been recommended to us by General Mkhwanazi. We propose calling that witness on the same day. It's a crime intelligence witness.
What is the name?
Oh, we don't have a name.
We
don't have a name.
Yeah,
no name brand. No, we don't have a name.
It's fine.
But it will be a filler because we don't expect Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi to be long when he appears. On the 13th and 14th, Cedric Gabindi. On the 18th, 19th, and 20th, Brown Mkhotsi. On the 21st, the Inspector General, who I'm sure there's no longer need for us to issue a summons, but he will appear voluntarily. 25, 26, supply chain SAPs to address the Medicare contract and other supply chain issues which arises from our terms of reference. And then 27, 28, Lieutenant General Nampani on the finances and budget of SAPs. Ready? Oh. Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Of course, we have some witnesses lined up for next week. Should I? It's just a reminder. As Deputy Minister Boshielo, Acting Minister Kachalia, so all one day, Boshielo one day, Kachalia one day, and then 6 and 7, IDEC, the head of IDEC,
Yeah, so
Andrea Johnson.
What you are saying is that next week, Tuesday,
That's next week.
is Honorable Bushielo. And then on Wednesday is Honorable Kachalia. And then on Thursday and Friday is IDEC.
Yes.
Is that Johnson?
Yes. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. I want us to go back to the prioritization of witnesses. Yeah. Honorable Skosana.
I'm not sure, Chair. I'm thinking that now, because next week there's a scheduling for the Deputy Minister and the Acting Minister and IDEC boss. My proposal would be on that, before you go in here, that because we had the Deputy Minister yesterday, I think we're going to get the same thing from the Deputy Minister, Dr. Bushielo. Don't you think perhaps, as members, I'm not sure whether they will agree on that, to say maybe a written statement as well. And the minister, the acting minister, we're not going to get anything from the acting minister. He's got 2 months or 3 months, I don't know. But from where I'm sitting, I don't know from other members. But my proposal would be I don't think, unless we can reschedule and get other witnesses, just to save time as well. That would be my proposal. Are the two members, the Deputy Minister, Dr. Bushielo, and the Acting Minister, Kachalia, I don't think it's necessary, Chair. From where I'm sitting, we're going to ask the same question we asked the other witnesses. Thank you, Chair.
No, I heard you, Honorable Member. I want us to be systematic in the manner in which we discuss the matters. I'm going to rotate and check whether the prioritization of the witnesses that is being presented here. First, if you agree with it. And then once you agree with it or you make additions, we can then come to prioritize dates. If you feel we can move them a bit earlier, depending on their availability and this and that, then we can move to that aspect. But now, there is a suggestion. I don't know how we're going to do it, SC. If it was going to be possible for us to have a blank page on the screen and write them in the order in which you are proposing. To say, number one, you propose General Kumal. Number two, you are proposing Cedric Nkabinde. Isn't it? That is the way, Honorable Sangon.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, let's really appreciate your commitment to consulting. But I wanted to say, Chair, I thought that you just wanted us to agree on whether we accept the recommendations in terms of prioritization. But I think the issue of scheduling, really, Chair, that one we can leave to yourselves.
Yeah,
but if we just agree that we agree that this lot must be written responses, these ones must come, and then these ones irrelevant.
That's exactly what I want to check with yourselves.
Thank you, Chair.
You know what I want to ascertain from you members is that if there is any one of you who feels that, for instance, there is a witness who is written in category B for written response, and you strongly feel that the witness must appear before the committee. That is why, if it was possible, Bonani, is to have one column where you have all the names that are being suggested as important witnesses, and check if the committee are there the copies. Yeah, you just circulate those copies amongst the members so that when we discuss with them having physical copies. I think this is the advantage of having physical copies. Members, maybe before I rotate, let's do this. A presentation has been made here, and there are witnesses that have been suggested in 3 or 4 categories. Category 1 is the category of those witnesses that are important. And the SC feels that consultations must start with those witnesses immediately. And category 2 is a category of those witnesses that the SC and the legal team feel we can source written responses from them. And category 3 is a category of witnesses whom they feel that they have not the testimonies that have been given before the committee have not directly linked them. And category 4 it's a category of witnesses that are important but may not be immediately available. For instance, General Khumalo is one important witness, but due to other circumstances, he may not be immediately available. We all want to have Mr. Ket Matlala here. He may not be immediately available because there is a procedure which you may have to follow to get him to come here. So those are the 4 categories that are being presented by the SC here. So when we go into discussions, what I will want to hear from you, from yourselves, Honorable Sangon, like you suggested, whether you agree with the categorization of the names or there are suggestions that you may want to make to say, no, SC, we feel that witness so and so was not supposed to be in this category. How about if we bring this witness to category A or B for the following reasons? Is it very clear, honorable members? Is it very clear? Okay. Are you ready to start the rotation? And then after this discussion, we will then, if you want to prioritize the dates, like what Honorable Skosana has suggested, to say, instead of bringing the witnesses that you want to bring next week, let's remain with IDEC, because IDEC, you still want them next week. And then if there is a possibility that we can bring Nhlanhla on Tuesday next week, let's bring him on Tuesday. Yes, but we must also consider that some of the witnesses' consultations still have to happen, and that we have terms of reference that say you need how many days to produce the sworn statement? 3 days. Yeah. Okay. Honorable Ngola, your hand was up. Is it you or Honorable Sangon starting?
It's me, Chair.
Thank you.
I think let's welcome the presentation and the proposals from the legal team. Chair, I think we understand the situation of General Khumalo. I think it was publicized all over the public space. All I think because there's a point where the legal team says the medical status unknown. I think the best we can do now is to try follow up if whether we can be able to deal with his testimony sooner when he is able to. Then, Chair, we've got number 10, General Musikili, who was at the helm on the time of the cause of action, where she was the one in office when the entire cause of action took place. I think it will be important that because if you check the different testimonies that we've already received, there is a lot of impasse or gap in between that time. Whether or not there was a direct instruction from the National Commissioner's Office and all that. So I think it will be important to have General Musigili appearing in person. Then number 17, Inspector General, who refuses to come and appear before Parliament. I'm not quite sure.
That matter is item number 3 on the agenda.
Oh, it's still coming, Chair.
We will discuss it separately.
That's fine, Chair. I think all we can also advise is that the legal team must therefore start immediately to start consultations after this meeting, so that we don't have a lot of gap in between the weeks where we're supposed to
You support
support it.
category A of important witnesses with the inclusion of General Msikidi.
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honorable Sangwe.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chair, I'm not sure if I know that when Advocate Zigalala was presenting, she explained the issue of the dates, the number of hearing dates that we have being 11. But when it comes to, for example, witnesses like number 24, Auntie Mary, Mr. O'Sullivan, Mr. Mdluli, I'm not hearing why they cannot be called or why they are in the yellow category. Is it because we don't have time to see them? But the intention is that they would be coming. If I could just be clarified on that one, Chair. Chair, we really, I think, firstly, just want to support. I hope I'm not speaking out of line. We want to support the proposal that had been put by Honourable Skhosana around the Deputy Minister as well as Minister Kachalia, that perhaps written statements would suffice in that case. I'm hesitating, Chair, because we don't want this list to grow again. But on the issue of Lieutenant General Sentimule, she's the one who had the issue of the dockets and the moving, then defied the National Commissioner when the pictures had to be taken, then Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi didn't want to receive. I think that one is...
It was Brigadier Motsepe who refused.
Who refused
the pictures.
Mutsepe refused the pictures. Sentimule was the one who was refused the return of the dockets. Okay.
What General Spear said was that both General Sentimule and Mutsepe were under his line of authority.
Okay.
Yes.
No. We stand corrected then, Chair. So we have nobody else to add. Thank you.
But
we support.
But the person who refused pictures from being taken was Brigadier Mutsepe in terms of the testimony of General Spear. So Chief Whip, do you want to say something? Okay, so your proposal is that let's include General Msikidi, who was acting during that time. And then, secondly, listen to me, honorable member. Secondly, that there is other category of important witnesses like Professor Mary de Haas, who unfortunately dates are unallocated because the mandate of the committee ends on 28th November. And what the senior counsel is afraid to say is that we want to bring those witnesses before you, but we can't allocate them dates after 28 November. It's a matter which yourselves as a committee must then make a decision about, to say they are the following witnesses, but they fall outside your allocated time frame. So that is a decision the committee must make. They consulted me. I said, work up to 28 November. And the rest of the days after November, the committee is the one that must decide. If the committee makes a decision, then they will come back with a revised proposal to you to say, now we have allocated these people, these witnesses' dates. Is it very clear, honorable members? Okay. Honorable Skhosana.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to differ a bit with the witness, the acting National Commissioner at that time.
What I want you to do, start by indicating those you agree with so that it will help us.
One, we now accepted that General Khumalo won't be able for now. Now, I would propose that we have on his slot Mr. Mkhwanazi on the slot of General General Khumalo. Number 2, I agree with the Lieutenant Sintumiling as well. I agree that perhaps he can have a written statement. She can have a written statement. And 3, Mr. Nkabinde, we agree that Mr. Nkabinde can come before us. General Rabi, we agree that General Rabi can have a written response. Brigadier Token, number 5, written response as well. Number 6, my colleague can take over. Mr. Okay, he says I must talk to Bega. Number 6, General, the CFO as well. I think I've seen 2 days, 27, 28. I think we can have 1 day on that. Like we had with the deputy minister. I don't think we need 2 days on this matter, because I think it's more of the Media 24 issue, unless there's other issues. If it's one matter of the 360 million, I think we can deal that with you, Chair. Yesterday we started at 11, and we were able to finish in time. Number 7.
You must also include the funding of the PKTT on that one.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Maybe in that thing. But I wanted to bring a Cat Matlala. I mean, what's her name? Vus Matlala. You know, in the picture here, where there's a written response. I'm not sure whether the members will agree. For instance, before I finish here, Chair, where we said Lieutenant Sentumele can write a written response. I'm not sure whether we are going to deliberate that matter for the whole day, but if it's possible, if arrangement can be made, let's have Vus Matlala after Brian Mkhwanazi. Then when we go down to the last almost one, General again, an error, because, you know, when the document is like this, I normally don't want to be called a doctor. I'm not a doctor. And there's no General Sibula. Not sure whether it's Lieutenant or is Major General.
It has been corrected on the screen, remember. It's just that this document was already written, yeah.
Yeah, me I've got the paper.
But you saw it, the correction was...
Now, it says relevance on proposed witness unclear. We recommend this person, the matter be referred to a portfolio committee on police. That is open for debate. But for me, as well, I don't think it's necessary to have him, unless there's a written response as well. Major General Mukhale, I don't know, maybe the other members who propose the name, they will have some input on that. Lieutenant Musikili, as I said earlier, I think because he was enacting at that time, she was enacting at that time, I think as well she can have a written response. I don't think there's much which we are going to get from her. Brigadier Gunene, as well, I'm not sure about Brigadier Gunene's role. I'll jump that one. Major General Mutsipe, a written response as well. General Malamela, the issue of General Malamela in this list. Malamela is a very important witness as well, not to come, perhaps a written response, because she's been out of work as a provincial commissioner for some time now. And hence we are having problem in this country that this issue of acting in the state institutions, government, is a cause for concern. I think if she can really have a written response like others as well. Julius Mkhwanazi is a very important witness. If you remember the issue of the Blue Light Brigade in Eguruleni, between him and Vus Matlala, we need to get the truth. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Nomvalo.
Yeah, no, it's just a clarity-seeking question, Chair, to the legal team. That is there a need to still allocate 2 days to witnesses, because the observation that we have made here is that there are some witnesses that you are allocating 2 days. I think previously it was understandable because of the nature of evidence to be tendered by witnesses. And also some of the witnesses were expected by the nature of their duties that they held in SAPS, were expected to assist the committee in all the terms of reference. Like if you talk about General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, his evidence by its nature was very vast and it required 2 days. The National Commissioner and others we have made here is that there are some witnesses that you are allocating 2 days. I think previously it was understandable because of the nature of evidence to be tendered by witnesses. And also some of the witnesses were expected by the nature of their duties that they held in SAPS, were expected to assist the committee in all the terms of reference. Like if you talk about General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, his evidence by its nature was very vast and it required 2 days. The National Commissioner and others. Now, is there a need, council, to have to allocate 2 days, for instance, to Lieutenant General, for instance, and others to Ngabinde, because our understanding is that they need to assist us to certain aspects of the terms of reference, not to the terms of reference holistically. So don't we maybe need, considering the fact that we are running out of time, what we desire is having witnesses, different witnesses every day from Monday to Thursday or from Tuesday to Friday, because we're running out of time, so that we can quickly finish the list of. But if the senior council is of the view that that would preclude him from doing his work adequately and expeditiously, then we subject ourselves to that. But our considered view, Chair, is that we must consider the issue of time, the allocation of time to witnesses to 1 day. What we experienced yesterday was very ideal, to have a witness being questioned from the morning. And mind you, we started at 11 o'clock. And by 2 o'clock, the senior council was done. When members came in, they also conducted interviews for less than 5 hours. So if that can be considered as well for other witnesses, if it is possible. Thank you very much.
You have perfected your trade as members. And what you are asking here is whether the question of WhatsApp text and confirmation of hotel payments can really take us 2 days. Yeah, I think it's a matter which you just write it down as you will come in and respond later to it. Honorable Shongwe, are you fine? Okay, thank you so much. Honorable Breitenbach.
Thank you, Chair. We're happy with the list as it is. Thank you.
Oh, okay. The MKP has spoken about the name of is it General or Julius Mkhwanazi? Is it General? That they feel is an important witness to your support that?
If there's time, we can deal with him, Chair. But as the report, as this list is set out here, we support that. If there's time for anything else, then we have no objection to it.
Okay. Honorable Cameron.
Chair, I speak on behalf of the DA. We're done.
I promised I wouldn't, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm happy, Chair, 100%.
Honorable Bathes.
Thank you, Chair. And I don't have my glasses and my eyesight is so bad. So let's go. Just on Lieutenant General Khumalo, have we gotten a response that he's unwell and we do not know when he will make himself available, or is it that we just don't know? You didn't hear me, Chair. So just on Lieutenant, the report here says his medical status is unknown. So we're not necessarily saying we want to know what the medical status is, but do we have a response from him saying that we don't know when he's going to be medically available to appear? Those are two different issues.
What they are saying is that he is an important witness. His availability or his appearance before the committee will depend on the day he's available. So
he hasn't told us. We're just assuming that because his medical condition is unknown, we haven't engaged him yet on when he will be available. That's what I'm trying to determine. Because it's written weirdly. It says medical status unknown.
Okay.
So you come back to that.
No.
Oh, okay.
I want the matter to be clarified when you are still on it. SC, the matter of General Khumalo.
We can't say with certainty what his medical condition is, but he is currently a witness under oath before the commission. So as soon as he is medically fit or fit to appear as a witness, we were advised that he'll be testifying before the commission. Okay. And he'll be there for a few weeks, certainly beyond the period.
I think what you should say is that we have come before you as the committee to approve, and once you have approved, we will come and report back to you when is he available. Is that adequate?
But I think to anticipate that issue aspect, he is not going to be available certainly this year and before the 28th of November.
Okay, Chair, what I'm trying to determine is that have we gotten that from him? Not us making the assumption, have we engaged him? Or are we just assuming that because he's still with the commission, has there been an engagement? Because we long time approved that he's appearing here. So has there been engagement with him and he has indicated, I have a medical condition, I will get back to you? Or are we just making an assumption that he's not going to be available anytime soon?
I see.
We've engaged with the evidence leaders of the Nhlanhla Commission.
No, Honorable Matthias, please. Please. You may continue.
Thank you, Chair. But that's not engagement. How are we engaging evidence? So I think we can just close this and ask our evidence leaders to make direct contact, and let's hear directly from the lieutenant when is he going to be available to come here. And then we must get a report like that, not our evidence leaders engaging evidence leaders on another commission. Thank you.
Do you support, Honorable Matthias, that consultations must start with General Khumalo and that the SC and the team, once consultations are done, they must schedule his appearance before the committee? Do you support that name?
Yes.
Thank you. Honorable, was it you first, Honorable Skosan?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I want to support the Honorable Matthias on that, to say we've made it very clear in this committee that we are not a subcommittee of the Nhlanhla Commission. We don't need them. If we have to have Lieutenant General Khumalo here, let's talk to him direct. If he's not finished with what he is doing at Nhlanhla Commission, they've got their own schedule. We've got our own schedule. They've got our own deadline. They've got their own deadline. Thank you, Chair.
No, that is a valid point, honorable members, and I think it's carried SC. Honorable Noval.
Yeah, thanks once again, Chair. No, there's one submission that I forgot to make, Chair, when I was speaking. In relation to General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Well, our view, Chair, is that calling him on the 12th of November, as it is proposed here, might not be strategic for the following reason, Chair. He is the main complainant, that is number one. Two, he made complaints which implicate many people, not only General Cele. So other witnesses might come and deny what maybe he said in his founding statement. And we would need him maybe at the tail end of our interviews. Our view, Chair, is that we agree with that General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi must come back. But he must not only come back for one issue. Besides the issues that were raised about him by other witnesses. In fact, besides the issue of him withdrawing some remarks about General Cele, there are other issues that, in our view, needs more clarity from him because they were, the witnesses responded to them in a certain way. And therefore, there is a need for him to come back and give further clarity. So our view, Chair, is that he must come back, but let's wait for other witnesses to come so that we will have an opportunity to note from, to depose a founding affidavit. Then others will come, depose an opposing affidavit. Then he comes back later with a replying affidavit. I think that is a fair process. I know that we are not in a court of law here, but I'm saying it's procedurally fair that you allow a person who is a main witness to come and break the ice. You allow others to come in, those who are relevant in his testimony, to come and explain themselves. And thereafter, at the tail end, you bring him back to come and respond to all the areas that you have identified to be in need of his response. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let me respond by saying that the SC in their presentation have the appearance of General Mkhwanazi before this committee for the second time. So you are just saying that the appearance must not be sooner than they propose, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's something that we will discuss when we deal with the rearrangement of the appearances of witnesses. Yeah.
Yeah, Chair. No. I think you are summarizing it well, because our concern is that what if another witness comes after he has come to the committee on the 12th of November and makes a statement that requires us to call him again to come to the committee. So we are going to have a topsy-turvy kind of a situation.
Okay. Honorable Mwango Bankasita.
Thank you.
Honorable Matthews.
Are you saying EFF is done? Or was it...
No, the indication I got from you was that you were done.
No, but we were only on witness number 1.
Okay.
Thank you. So witness 2, we are in agreement. Witness 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also think we need to spend less days there. Also on 7. The only one that we wanted to bring to your attention would be the Ikroleni, which is number 14. Because in terms of reference also speaks to us as looking into looking into metros. It doesn't just say SAPS. So I think this will also fall into that category. And I think we must also just get some clarity on the issue of CAT, Mkhwanazi. Do we know how long the process is? I think that is also going to help. Have we done any engagement in that regard? Because that's going to assist us in terms of on scheduling for him to come out of prison to appear here. Have we done that? And then on the issue of
just to hold you there.
Oh, okay.
So you are saying that Mr. Julius Mkhwanazi of Ekurhuleni and Ket Matlala must appear before the committee.
Oh, yes.
Yes. That's the point. That's the point I wanted to hear very loudly from you. You can proceed.
Okay. And then on Mkhwanazi, it's also just for us to get directive or get clarity on the process and how long
the modalities they will deal with them.
Okay.
But the overriding principle is that he comes.
Yeah, but we lot agreed with that one. Then Paul O'Sullivan is a definite yes. He must be engaged almost immediately also as a priority on that list because it's not clear. It just says made some allegations against this witness. I think it was a bit more than just some allegations. We support that was our submission anyway, as the EFF anyway, Chair, that we don't have the deputy ministers and the acting minister here. So we support that we can just take their written submissions. And if the need rises later on, that we can call them in. And if we can reschedule any of the other witnesses, if we have any witness statements available, that we don't waste the time next week to be able to do that. I think we should also get guidance from the evidence leaders, whether they need more manpower, because it might be something that we need to do to speed up. You can see that the witness list is increasing. And as an ad hoc committee, we should not be doing half jobs here. So if there's a need to increase the manpower there, it must be done. Otherwise, there's no point us even spending all this time if we are not going to make sure that our work is top quality that we are supposed to do. And we are in agreement that we should have sort of that the Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi must come and close, and he'll be able to respond to anything that has been said all contrary to what he has put before us. And thank you, Chair.
Are you sure you are done?
Wasn't done the last time. Now I'm saying thank you, I'm done. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Bangazitha.
Well, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Good afternoon, honorable members. We are in agreement with the proposal made by the senior counsel and the team. And also do agree with the proposals that have just been made by the MK, especially in relation to some of the witnesses that have been allocated 2 days. We believe that there are some, such as the Lieutenant General number 6 there, that really we don't think that 2 days will actually is warranted for that engagement. Yes, we also agree that General Mkhwanazi should actually have the second bite, and that he be the last one. He be the very last one. Mkhotsi, yes, would need to prioritize him. He's very central in many respects. And also the on the main, we accept the proposals that have been made.
Thank you so much, Bangazitha. Honorable Sols.
Well, thank you, Chair. We agree with the proposals as it is stated here, together with the input that was given by different members. On number 11, Brigadier Kunene, I want to understand is, are we saying that there's no relevance for him to come because there's a current investigation by him? In fact, the protection of such to guard against exposing drug cartels. He has inside information, I would think, on the processes that took place with regard to the PKTT and the investigations that are done. So I think that I just need more clarity on that. Then, if my memory serves me right, there was a name, Patricia Mashale. She's been mentioned by General Mkhwanazi. She's been mentioned by former Minister Tele, Minister Nkunu, and the National Commissioner. She's also said to have been in possession of classified information. So if Honorable Fadil is called, she should also be called because it's basically the same. So I want to understand why that name is also not here. But other than that, we're satisfied. I also agree with General Mkhwanazi having to come back, but at the tail end. So just clarity on those two issues, Chair, then we're satisfied. Thank you.
Let's see.
Chair, just I'm not sure that I can answer Honorable Souls directly, but just in terms of the program for next week, even if we do not call Deputy Minister Boshielo and Acting Minister Kachalia, it's not going to mean that it opens up or presents an opportunity to call any of the other witnesses we are discussing here today. It's not going to be possible for us to consult, draw up statements, refer it back, and increasingly as people get named and called before this honorable committee, they're engaging their own lawyers. So that takes further time. So it's not going to be possible. And in terms of capacity, we've been stretched to the limit, to the extent that we've been assisted by the parliamentary legal team. We appreciate their assistance. But even with the witnesses that are being discussed today, we're going to be very hard pressed to fill the program in the way that is being discussed. Thank you, Chair. I sorry I didn't answer Honorable Souls directly.
Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. I didn't hear my colleague, Honorable Souls, when he spoke about Brigadier Kunene that is investigating. I didn't hear him well, but I just wanted to make an input, Chair, before you go and give another person a chance. I think it's very imperative and prudent that these issues which are confronting us, I know there's budget constraint, but I think we need to empower our legal team. This issue of consultation, like what the SC is telling us now here, is that they don't have the capacity to run this program. My suggestion would be, depending on the members and your budgetary constraint, whether the speaker will allow us to do that. But I think for us to finish this job, really, we need to revisit. I think they need some additional members for them to be able to cope with what is expected of them. By what the SC has already said to us now, to say, irrespective of what's going to happen with the Kachalia and Minister Kachalia, the acting minister, and the deputy minister, it doesn't make any difference, because they still have to have consultation for all the witnesses which we are talking about here. Which means next week we won't be able to do anything. So my proposal will be, let's revisit this and perhaps have, additional members to help the legal team which was appointed by Parliament. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, these are the decisions that you have taken. Number one is that you agree to the prioritization that has been made by the senior counsel and his team, and that you have added General Mkhwanazi from Ekurhuleni to be part of those important witnesses that must come and appear before you, and that you want Professor Mary Dihasi, you want Mr. Matlala here. Bonani shares with me now that Miss Patricia Mashaile, is it Mashaile or Mashale? Mashale has written to the committee requesting to come and appear before you. So it's a matter which you will have to look at it and make a decision. Number two, you have agreed that Honorable Wishielo and Honorable Kachalia must make written submissions. And number three is that you will want the order of appearance for next week to be revised to Tuesday, if it's possible. SC, I did not hear you talking to it, whether it will be possible for yourselves to have certain witnesses appearing on Tuesday, if you remove the two from Tuesday and Wednesday. And then number four, there are other witnesses who, in the opinion of the committee, have been allocated more than sufficient time. What it means is that a witness might have been allocated 2 days when actually that witness could have been allocated 1 day. That is the feeling of the committee. And the suggestion, SC, is that where such could have happened, they request that there should be a revision instead of allocating 2 days. I saw Mr. Cedric Ngabinde as well apparently is allocated 3 days. Yeah, so you can go and look at that and reduce it maybe to 2 days. Is it 2 days? Honorable Cameron.
Chair, just a thought now that you mentioned Mr. Nkabindi for 3 days. No, that he was originally put on for 3 days. Isn't it worth then actually considering dividing that up, making it shorter and actually getting Acting Minister Kachalia here? Because remember, and just bear with me for a second, Minister Kachalia came in and he met with all this crisis. He had Mr. Nkabindi in the office with him for the first month or two. And it can be quite short, but it could be worth it. He could probably give us a very good overview of exactly what the state of the Police Ministry's office was/is when he came in. So just a thought.
No. Okay. I don't want us to deal with it like that.
Chair.
No. Wait,
You can't say no to me.
wait, honorable souls. No, I want us to be organized, honorable members.
But Chair, I'm trying to understand your approach. It was my turn, and then the AC responded.
No.
She never came back. You never came back to me.
I have given you a chance, all of you, to speak.
Yes.
And I have read the decisions that you have taken, and I now want to hand over to the senior counsel to clarify other matters that you would have raised. But before I do that, you raised a matter of Kunene. He must clarify it. But before I do that, there are two names. You have not come out very clearly on what you are saying about those names. The first name is the name that Honorable Ngola has suggested, the name of General Msikidi. And now Honorable Cameron is bringing the name of Minister Kachalia. So can we start with General Msikidi? Are you still fine on the name of General Msikidi, Honorable Ngola?
No, thanks, Chair. I've been convinced to withdraw, and there were some trending statements, Chair.
Okay.
I'm reporting officially to you.
Okay, no, it's fine. The name is no longer on the table for discussion. It falls back to written statements. And then Honorable Cameron is suggesting that Honorable Kachalia must be retained next week. Can I get your views, honorable members?
Chair, I just want to say,
do you want to start by motivating, or you are reconsidering?
No. I just wanted to say, whoever threatened Honorable Ngola, we can invite them to come and testify as well.
Okay. Can I start with you, the ANC? Honorable Cameron has proposed a motion here that Honorable Kachalia must be retained for next week.
Thank you, Chair. We have no fundamental opposition to Minister Kachalia appearing. I think we just need to look at the time, though.
That is a very diplomatic answer. So you are saying whatever decision the meeting takes, you agree?
Exactly.
Okay.
We are supporting, Chair.
Thank you so much. Honorable Nomvalo.
Yeah, no, Chair. Our genuine conviction is that his testimony is not going to add any value to our fact-finding machine. But because there is nobody who's available next week, so we can take him. Yeah, that's the only reason we're supporting. Other than that, Chair, we don't agree.
Thank you. May I pass? Okay. Honorable Matthews.
Chair, the acting minister is in Vietnam. He clearly has no interest. Where is he? He's gone on a trip. It doesn't matter. He left the country in the state with 2 commissions running on his department. So I don't think we can take him all that serious. In any event, even though we've allocated that time, I think we have the option, at least the evidence leaders will be released to deal with serious taking statements from serious people. If the need arises later on, we can also call him. We haven't finalized. There's also still the issue of President Ramaphosa that we can deal with later. But the EFF, it's a hard no.
Honorable Sols.
Chair, I must stress my disappointment in your approach when you've given everyone an opportunity to comment on the proposal, and if there was points of clarity, the SC would respond, and then you would go back to that member. With me, you don't come back to me, and now we're discussing something else, and I need to wait for you to raise it again. I mean, that's a bit unfair. What I would have expected is right after the end, and Honorable Skosana came afterwards and did not understand what I was saying. He also asked clarity on what my response was. But that opportunity wasn't given. Now I need to wait for a round to go for something else, and I think that's wrong. And now I need to participate in something that was not a part of what I was putting forward to the House.
What is your view on the matter of Minister Kachalia that...
I reserve my view until my item is finished. Okay. I'm not going to come back to you. I'm making a decision.
There is a view that Honorable Kachalia should come here next week, SC. That is the view of the majority of members.
Honorable Chair, I think it's important that he should come. He's acting now in a ministry.
Point of order, Chair.
Point of order taken.
Chair, you are continuing with an item that came after what I was doing. I'm still awaiting clarity. You rotated, you are doing a different rotation. That's wrong.
No, honorable member, it is not wrong. Before I did this rotation, I announced it here that after the rotation, we are coming back to the matter of Brigadier Gunen. Unless your strongest contention is that the matter of Brigadier Gunen was supposed to have come before this one, and it will not change anything, whether it comes before or after. There will still be clarity and a decision about it.
No, Chair, you only mentioned it again when I raised my hand to ask. You went from after the SC has responded. The SC said he's not responding to me directly, and he apologizes for not answering me directly. You did not, instead of coming back to me and say, Honorable Source, what's your response to that? You totally disregard me. You continue with the meeting, add something else, and now I need to participate in a different round of rotation. What I'm requesting is for you to treat me like you've treated everybody else. If they had clarity for the SC responded, and then you went back to them. Why don't you come back to me?
Yeah. No, there is no way you are unequally treated, Honorable Sol, because your matter has not disappeared. And I'm ruling your point of order to be a point of delay.
You are delaying my response, Chair.
No, your point of order is a point of delay to the meeting.
But my point of order is part of the meeting and my participation, but
that's why
based on your rotation.
That's why I say the matter...
Every single party asked to respond to the SC. You didn't allow me to respond.
Honorable Sol, if we can please listen to each other. Because the matter which you raised, the time is now for the SC to respond to your matter.
So now he's going to respond. What you were doing now is talking about the acting, you're talking about the acting minister.
I'm giving him time now. When he finishes on the matter of the acting minister, he is going to the matter of Brigadier Gunen.
But the matter of the acting minister came after mine. You don't have my input on the acting minister. So how do you then make a decision? Because my input of the acting minister is not there. You overrided my participation again.
I'm very patient with you because...
No, I'm equally patient, Chair.
The matter of Brigadier Gunene is the latest matter which was presented by you when the matter of the acting minister, whether he must come next week or not, has been presented earlier.
Which was passed, and there was comments made. Honorable Cameron came after.
But
you then brought it back.
Do we really have to?
We don't. All you have to do is allow me. All you have to do is allow me to do what everyone else has done. That's all you have to do, Chair. Treat me the same.
SC, may you please respond to the matter of the acting minister?
Chair, firstly, both in relation to Deputy Minister Boshielo and Acting Minister Kachalia, we have spent time consulting with them. We have spent time drafting statements and exchanging these statements. There was a further consultation today with Deputy Minister Boshielo. In summary, her experience is different to that of Deputy Minister Matale. From the terms of reference that this honourable committee must address, we need to look at the systemic problems and challenges faced within SAPS, starting with the ministry. At the moment, a minister sitting with two deputy ministers. We heard from one yesterday that they didn't receive any powers and delegated any powers and authority. It's important to hear this, so that if that's the case, how is this going to be addressed in future? Has the current acting minister done so? What has he found? Has he found SAPS in disarray, as it appears to be the case? What is he doing about it? That question was posed to Deputy Minister Matale yesterday, who seemed simply to say, well, just get into a room, have a meeting, and discuss this. Is that good enough? So we could actually be assisted with the evidence from both Deputy Minister Boshielo and Acting Minister Kachalia. Only 1 day has been allocated. We're not likely to be more than...
1 day for each of them.
Sorry, Honourable Chair.
You say 1 day each.
Yes, 1 day each. It's been prepared, so instead of having these gaps, we have now requested, I think, the head of IDEC to move on 2 occasions.
Your strongest view is that let's have those featuring next week.
I think let's stick with the program for next week. Boshielo, Kachalia, Johnson. We will obviously have to take stock and take into account what has been requested here today in terms of fast-tracking some other witnesses. We'll have to make our own internal arrangements to make that possible. If it is possible, assist our parliamentary colleagues to assist or request. If not, request some further assistance to do that. But I think for next week, if I can respectfully request or suggest that the program stay as it is, and we'll look at the remainder of the program from the following week onwards. Well, we've got the head of the NPA coming next week. Chair, just to qualify whatever's been said here today, you will also recall that we had been told that the life of this committee had been extended until the 28th of November. we had to work backwards to make provision for us to draft a report to present to this honorable committee, for you obviously to discuss it and debate it, make your inputs, and we'll probably have to go back and revise it, finalize it, and then for that to be presented to the Speaker for the National Assembly to discuss it. So we worked backwards, and that is why the initial program was cut off for the week after next. Now it appears as if witnesses can now be heard right up until the 28th. It's still not what we've heard. But if that's the case, then we'll have to accommodate the witnesses in the way that has been discussed, rearrange them, and find time to consult and draft statements, Chair.
And then what is your explanation to the matter raised by Honorable Sols?
About Brigadier Kuneni. Brigadier Kuneni, is it, if I may just through you, Chair, ask Honorable Sols, is the investigating officer in the two complaints that have been brought against Minister Mkhwanazi and Mr. Kabinde, and he's the investigating officer that deposed to an affidavit when these search warrants were obtained from a judge in Gauteng in camera. If one looks at the affidavit, then Brigadier Kuneni himself relies on confirmatory affidavits of other witnesses. So Brigadier Kuneni himself is not an original witness in the matter. And may I suggest, if it's a kind of a middle way, is that we also address questions to him to respond, and if another window opens up, we can consider whether or not he should be called. But our view is that at this stage he's not a necessary witness.
So
Thank you, Chair.
you suggest that we have a written statement from him, and then on the basis of that evaluation, a decision can be made.
Yeah, because the only basis to evaluate whether he is a necessary witness or not is his affidavit in the search and seizure. And I speak subject to correction, but my recollection is that that too is based, it's a hearsay kind of affidavit based on other witnesses, and we have asked for those affidavits which we haven't received. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sols.
Chair, once again, this exercise that just happened could have happened earlier because the SC didn't respond in the way he's doing now. But for the sake of progress, Brigadier Kunene, just so that there's clarity, so that people don't think I'm talking about Kenny Kunene. Brigadier Kunene, as the investigating officer, up to now, we are still asking whether there is the protection of drug cartels. Brigadier Kunene is actively investigating this. We don't need to talk about the actual investigations that he's busy with, but he can share light perhaps on evidence around that allegation. He can give us information on whether or not there are drug cartels that are being protected. Because up to now, we still don't have that. So I see relevance in having Brigadier Kunene. On the name Patricia Mashale, Chair, you say that we will discuss that. But in the same way as we are discussing the acting minister and others, we should discuss that now also, because she's been mentioned by the main witness, by other witnesses that was here. It was said that she has confidential information, just like Honorable Fadil Adams. So in the same way, we should decide now whether Patricia Mashale is coming, and we should decide now whether Brigadier Kunene is coming to provide essential proof and evidence on the protection of drug cartels.
Honorable members, are you ready for rotation? There are two names here, Brigadier Kunene and Miss Patricia Mashale, African National Congress. What is your view on those two names? Do you want them to, the question is whether you want them to appear before the committee, or if they must they must submit written statements.
Honourable Chair. Honourable Chair. I think I've made a practical suggestion with respect to Honourable Sauls, is that we pose those questions to Brigadier Kunene. We will have a re-look at the affidavit.
Yeah.
When he responds,
let me stop you there, SC. You have explained the matter twice. He's not convinced. And so it is only fair that we rotate the matter to the members to decide, so that it must not be a matter between you and him and the chair. It must be a committee decision. Honorable Sangon.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. We support the view of the Patriotic Alliance that we call Brigadier Kunene. We do not support the committee hearing from Ms. Patricia Mashale. I think a lot of those things were things that were posted on Facebook and what, and really to be presenting that here is a bit problematic. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. Just before I comment on that one, because remember on the list, which I thought at a later stage, but I'm looking at the time, there were names which were submitted, and I've asked on our visual meeting, like the name of Silas Shabalala, a prosecutor, is not on the list here. Thailand Perumal, which was mentioned by the minister Ecele here. Brian Padiach, which was mentioned as well by General Mkhwanazi, they are not on the list. Patricia Mashale as well, and the one now which we are talking about, the issue of Kunene. I don't have a problem of Kunene coming here. If need be, can have a one day, if we can, with our heavy schedule. I think it's very important as well if he does these drug cartel issues for him to appear before us. But at a later stage, I'm still going to raise these names which were submitted, and they've been mentioned many times. You know, the Perumal issue, the Brian Badiache, Sunel, who works with IDEC, where the problem is, which I thought that Khumalo will come, but at a later stage. On this one, I support the issue that he can come, Brigadier Kunene.
Honorable Shongwe. Honorable Cameron.
Thanks, Chair. We say that there is no need for Patricia Mashale to come here. She can make a written submission if need be, and if there's time for Brigadier Kunene for half a day max, then sure. But I think, in my opinion, we need to consider that statement some kind of a written submission. It's not just, I don't think that's going to be significant in terms of the broader fact-finding mission. If the council prefers that they just write a submission or answer written questions, we are happy to support that. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Matthews.
We support the PA's submission, and I do think Patricia Mashele, she's come up quite as much as what's the other one? Auntie Mary, as Uncle Tele has been saying to us. And I think this is an opportunity. They're always on social media. So this is the opportunity for them to come in an official platform and us to question it and put this matter to rest once and for all. So yeah, we are supporting that, Chair.
IFP.
Well, Brigadier Kunene actually has, in one of the bundles that we have, has a long statement that he deposited somewhere. I don't know whether with us, and he has a lot of things to say in that particular statement of his. With regards to Mashale, I think she should be able to welcome the opportunity to come and meet with us here, rather than actually saying things through the social media. I think she would need to be given that opportunity, even if it is half a day, for her to come. And also it is important for us also to interrogate her on the issues that she has said to establish the veracity of all of those allegations she is actually throwing around. Thank you.
Honorable Sauls.
Well, Chair, you know my position. I suppose it's in your hands now.
Honorable Sauls.
What is the expectation, Chair? I have stated my position. You've done a rotation. I suppose it's now back in your hands, Chair.
No. We're not deciding one matter here. There is the matter of Brigadier Kunene, where your view is very clear. There is a matter of Miss Patricia Mashale.
Those are both matters I've raised.
You support both matters?
I'm the one who put the motion that you...
Do you support both matters?
I'm the one who put the motion, Chair.
Okay. It's fine. Thank you so much, Honorable Source. Members, we have come to the end of the rotation, so we will include those two names on the list of the witnesses. And we will retain Deputy Minister Bushielo and Minister Kachalia and IDEC for next week. Honorable Matthews.
Chair, I don't think that's an accurate summary of what the committee said in terms of the Deputy Minister and the Acting Minister. I don't know. It is only the Democratic Alliance that said that the Acting Minister should come at least for half a day. There's no other political party that agreed that we must go back to having them here. So I'm not sure what you're basing your summary on.
Yeah, it is only you who disagreed with the Acting Minister coming. Honorable Sango.
Is it MK? They said the same thing. They said the Deputy Minister as well.
Let me remind you, Honorable Sangoni supported.
The Deputy Minister.
Honorable Nomvalo supported. So it's only you.
The Acting Minister or Deputy Minister?
It's only you who spoke unambiguously against
both.
Against the Acting Minister.
And MK supported the Deputy Minister as well.
So the Deputy Minister, the chairperson, is convinced by the logic that has been advanced by the SC. Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. I think because I've raised that matter of both the acting minister and the deputy. The issue was that we thought as well that we might have other people if we don't have them here. But the SC just told us that, unfortunately, if they are not in here, there's no one who's going to be here anyway. Hence, I think the decision to say they can come for a day or whatever, but it was unnecessary. But we agreed at the end to say, if there's no one, then it means they can come in here. But I still have an issue, which I've raised, two issues, that the legal team need an assistant. You know, because this consultation as well, it takes a little bit of time to consult. Hence, we don't have anybody if we don't have the acting minister and the deputy minister. Now, if that can be considered, as I said, the budgetary issues might be a problem.
That has been noted.
Yes, and my last one was the issue, because IDEC is coming. My suggestion will be, those three members who were mentioned on several occasions here, which worked for IDEC, they should not be protected. I know that the Advocate Johnson is coming here, but one or two of those members, they need to come and explain. You know, it's not necessarily about the arrest of Lieutenant Khumalo, but in the portfolio committee as well. There are a lot of issues about the issue of arrest from that issue, which General Mkhwanazi said. There's some members at IDEC who are rogue. Inverted commas. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Skosan, look, I agree 100% with your submission. Let's get IDEC to come. And then after IDEC, we are going to bring back those names for discussion. Yes. The kind of relief that you need, SC, the legal team will go and make a consideration and determine how the support that is given to you can be augmented. Thank you. Honorable Nomval.
Chair, there's an issue that we would like to raise here in the committee, which relates to the investigation that is conducted by this committee, Chair. And it relates also to the methodology that is espoused by the legal counsel. We just want to get clarity, Chair, on the issue of requesting for documents from relevant people or from relevant subjects. That has the legal team not made any determination for a need of documents that needs to be scrutinized by this committee thus far? For instance, Chair, our belief is that by now, at least documents which relates, because our terms of reference are directing us to investigate the procurement processes of a 360 million tender. Now, our understanding and our expectation is that at least by now, SCM documents should have been requested by the legal team. It's either they analyze them or they give them to the committee members for them to make analysis. I'm saying those are documents which are not classified. It's documents which are readily available. Because, Chair, we do not want to to limit our investigation into a viva voce or oral evidence, wherein we rely on what is being said here by the witnesses. We need to drill it down so that we are not arriving at a half-cooked or incomplete determination relying from an investigation which has not been intense. So we are really worried, Chair, that we are advancing with interviews between ourselves and witnesses, but there is no documentation that has been requested, or there is no indication rather that has been made to the committee that certain information has been requested and will be provided to committee members at this particular time for them to make analysis, so that when we deliberate here, during deliberations, we make deliberations having analyzed the viva voce vis-a-vis the documentary evidence that we'll be in possession of. So we just need clarity in that regard from the legal team. Are they making such considerations? And if they are, how far with them? Thank you. How far are they with them?
SC.
Honorable Chair, sorry, excuse, just to Honorable Nombalo, no, because we were awaiting today's proceedings to finalize the list of witnesses post the last witness, which we made provision for, which is the NDPP. So going forward, and if, for example, the procurement person and the SCM person, if we are now scheduling them to be heard, then we will make that request as soon as possible and make those documents available.
All right, no, well clarified, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are done with that item. I want to thank you so much, Senior Counsel and Advocate Mkhwanazi and Advocate Zikalala, for your presentation. You can get back to work, schedule the witnesses that the committee has agreed on for consultation, and so you will indicate to us probably when, maybe after next week, if because maybe you will be working towards the confirmations. We have agreed on the witnesses. What you do is just to confirm their availability and then draw a timetable of appearance. We can't develop a timetable for your schedules. What you can do is just to report to the committee that the scheduling has been done with the following witnesses. They will appear for consultation, which will be a report that will serve in the committee. But now you have been mandated to go and do consultations and then develop a timetable of appearance.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members, colleagues.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are you ready, Menier?
Mine is not that of a big matter, Chair. No, I'm saying mine is not that of a big matter. Let me greet the chairperson, honorable members, and my colleagues as well. Chairperson, it's a pity that you are, disappearing from me now, but I wanted to address you on a matter of procedure. Look, it's not common that when we present opinions to committees, members make submissions to our opinions, and then we must come back and respond to those opinions. So procedure is that once we table an opinion, the committee deliberates on it, and the committee tells us whether they adopt it or reject it, because it's an opinion. So, Chairperson, we thought that let's come here and just give a broad framework, perhaps on the requirements of independence and impartiality, in relation to members of parliament. Oh, sorry. Chairperson, these issues are not novel, as many of us would agree with me here. I just want to make illustrations and examples as I go along. Chairperson, here in Parliament, we've got a committee called the Powers and Privileges Committee. So what happens there is that, of course, members of Parliament get referred by the Speaker on account of, misconduct or contempt of Parliament, in the main. And I want to make a practical example, Chairperson, for instance, and even quote a name, the Deputy Chief Whip, Honorable Lagude. So what has happened in the past is that you would have the president in the House, and then members, would try to disrupt, the proceedings. And then after that, there would be physical removals in the House. And then the Speaker writes a report to a subcommittee called a subcommittee on the physical removal of members. And in that subcommittee on the physical removal of members, the very same members were speaking in the House, sit in that committee. That committee, in actual fact, is chaired by the Deputy Speaker. Now, that committee then makes an assessment of the Speaker's report, and of course, if there is any video footage, they watch it. And if they are of the view that there could be a merit to a charge for, contempt of Parliament, they then write a report to the Rules Committee. Now, Honorable Lagude in the House, trying to calm matters there and asking for protection from the Speaker. Honorable Lagude sits in the Rules Committee, and when the report is being channeled from the subcommittee that deals with the removal of members, it goes to Honorable Lagude again. Then the Rules Committee looks at it, makes its own assessment, and the Rules Committee mandates the Speaker to refer it to the Powers and Privileges Committee for further investigation. Now, in the Powers and Privileges Committee, Honorable Lagude sits there as a member again. So I thought this example would clarify this. Now, what has happened for the past 10 years, from 2014 up until last year, the EFF has contested these matters in court for 10 years. And no less than four full courts of the Western Cape High Court. When I talk about a full court, colleagues, I'm talking about 3 judges sitting. Dr. Chimomora is here, I'm happy that is here, Kumali. So no less than 12 judges of the Western Cape High Court have said, perhaps I must first, declare that before this meeting, I sent a notice to Honorable Mateus because I was anticipating reprisals. So I thought for protection, Honorable Mateus must not hear this for the first time. So the principle I'm trying to articulate, colleagues, is that the courts have said, even last year, full court before Charles Dennis Davis, the full court have said we don't see any bias because the allegation has been the composition of the committee is biased, unfair, or unreasonable, because the EFF's argument has always been that we're a minority party, and this happened when the African National Congress, by the way, had a majority. So the EFF would say, other than us being tried by these very same people who are in the House, we propose that there must be an independent body. They say that to court, in a court of law. There must be an independent body chaired by a retired judge or a senior counsel. And those are the people who must be charged at looking at this thing, and not these members who belong to the majority party, this and that, and so on. Now, the courts have refused those arguments. 10 years, 12 judges of the Western Cape High Court, because they've said the National Assembly is the ultimate master of its proceedings and procedures. And the rules of independence and impartiality, as they apply to judges, do not apply to members of Parliament. It's a simple matter, is that. For instance, Chairperson, if another Pala happens tomorrow, or another Mkhwanazi addresses a media conference about an issue of national importance, What you are then telling us, you are saying to us that when members of parliament are called to comment on it, they must say, no, I'm not going to comment because there might be an ad hoc committee 6 months down the line. And of course, if I do make comments, that would disqualify me to be a member of that ad hoc committee. That doesn't work for politicians. Politicians are here on behalf of the people. The people would be interested to know what is the view of the ANC, what is the view of the EFF, what is the view of the DA in relation to what has happened. And you can't then say on the basis of them having made such pronouncements that disqualifies them from participating in these committees. Now, Chairperson, I think I've made that point. So the issue that I want to move to now, Chairperson, is the issue of, who are we and what are we about? Chairperson, this is a parliament of the people. We make laws here in the main. We facilitate public involvement in our processes, and we exercise oversight over the executive. In the main, Chair, that's what a parliament does. Now, the issue of dispensing of justice, Chair, is a constitutional function that resides with another arm of the state, which is the judiciary. So these are not court proceedings. This is not a court of law. If you look at our terms of reference, Chairperson, we make the point very clear there that these are not adjudicative proceedings. I want to quote, Chairperson, a 2017 judgment by the Constitutional Court, the UTM matter. Just give me a minute, Chairperson. UTM matter, Chairperson. Okay. So I think I've made the point that MPs are not judges. They should comment publicly on issues of public concern. They are representatives of the people and they are elected to do so. Members are obliged to uphold the Constitution, and we cannot assume that they will act for naked self-interest or blind party loyalty. This is what Chief Justice Mkhwanazi, as he then was, said. This is on paragraph 79 of the UTM Constitutional Court judgment. The Constitutional Court recognized that there may be times when a member's allegiance to their party does not align with their conscience. But it decided that in those circumstances, a member is bound by her oath to the Constitution, not her loyalty to a party. Nowhere Mkhwanazi, Chief Justice as he then was, affirmed, does the supreme law provide for members to swear allegiance to their political parties, important players though they are in our constitutional scheme. The result is that in the event of conflict between upholding constitutional values and party loyalty, they are irrevocable undertaking to in effect serve the people and do only what is in their best interest must prevail. So this is the Constitutional Court, Chairperson, in 2016. Now, to prove the veracity, Chairperson, of these words, beautiful words, from our former Chief Justice, in 2020, here in Parliament, those of us were here around that time, SONA 2020. Former President F.W. de Klerk is a guest in the House. And of course, we know what happened, proceedings had to be suspended, people were removed physically, and of course, ultimately they were referred to the Powers and Privileges Committee. Now, remember at the time, the Powers and Privileges Committee, the ANC had six people out of 11. So the ANC was a majority, in that committee. We were called as legal services to go and present whether there was a case against those members of the AFF who were physically removed. And our advice, Chairperson, to the committee was that the speaker on the day had all the arsenal in her hands. It was Honorable Motis. but didn't make use of it. And therefore the House degenerated out of a failure or lack thereof on her part, to act. The African National Congress, having a majority in that committee, accepted that view. And members of parliament were not charged. This is 2020, Chairperson, so on. Now, in 2023, Chairperson, there was a finding against former Minister Mosebenzi Zwane because he had not complied with the sanction of the Ethics Committee. And former Minister Zwane was referred to the Powers and Privileges Committee. Chairperson, his own comrades, Chairperson, docked half of his salary in that particular committee. So the point we're demonstrating, Chairperson, here, I'm just trying to align what the Chief Justice said in terms of oath of office, this and that, and so on. But fundamentally, Chairperson, if we were to come to the issue directly of Ms. Kola Barnard, if you look at our terms of reference, Chairperson, particularly the scope, we have 18 items there on the scope. And the issue which General Mkhwanazi raises as an allegation, by the way, against Honorable Kola Barnard relates particularly to 4.114. So, Chairperson was saying, in line with the Nemo UDX principle, that's where she should not participate in the committee. But we have no basis legally, Chair, to say no, she must not participate in the entire committee. There's no basis for that. But only insofar as when the committee is probing that particular matter. And I think that is in line, Chairperson, with even our code, because if you look at clause 6.1e of the code, it requires the member to withdraw from proceedings of the committee or forum when the matter is considered, decided on, unless the committee or forum decides that the member's interest is trivial or not relevant. So I think, Chairperson, in summary, what we're saying is that the rules of independence and impartiality as they relate to judges, Chairperson, are not applied in the same manner when you are dealing with politicians, members of parliament. Chairperson, look, I know I said it's going to be a broad framework, but Chairperson, we are here to engage the members. Thank you very much.
What is your submission regarding the matter of Honorable Kola Barnard?
I've made a submission, Chair. I've said only with respect, in relation to that particular aspect. Otherwise, we cannot say that. Look, I know that she's not a member of the committee. She's an alternate. She only participates, when those, we've spoken about that before. But all that I'm saying, Chairperson, is that what would be the basis of us to say that, no, she can't be here, when there's no reasonable relation between number 14 and number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, up until 18. So only insofar as when we are dealing with that matter, Chairperson. Which matter?
Yeah, what he's saying...
Okay, I'll read it. I'll read it.
He wants you...
Allegations against members of parliament with regards to classified information.
What the Honorable Ngola is saying, leave the adverbs and the adjectives. You see? And say, when you deal with this matter, and not saying the matter in question or that matter.
Thanks, Chair.
The honorable member, because she will be conflicted and we want to apply the Nemo Ude.
Yes, thanks, Chair. Chair, in relation...
So that all of us, when we live here knowing when is she going to be available and when will she not be available.
Yes, Chair. Chair, I'm talking about clause 4.1.14, which deals with the allegations against members of parliament with regards to the classified information released to them, specifically the reference to members of parliament who are allegedly linked to criminal syndicates. Even though, if you read all of it, Chair, not all of it is applicable to her. What is applicable to her is the first part, allegations against members of parliament with regards to the classified information released to them. Even though factually, Chair, even there, if you look at the conspectus of facts, Chairperson, from her side, of course, no classified information was released to her. Thanks, Chairperson.
Are you done with your presentation?
I'm done, Chairperson. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Honorable Sangoni, I want to start the rotation. Are you ready?
Yes, Chair. I'm sure the other honorable members from the ANC will also come in with their own observations. Chairperson, I think we're very disadvantaged by Mr. Tekyane's presentation. I'm trying to follow what he's reading. There's pieces of paper, there's notebooks, and in the context of that, then there are also rules being presented to us for the first time with regards to recusal. Now we keep asking ourselves, but which one is this one now? Because we spent a lot of time on this issue of conflict of interest, how it can be addressed. And I remember we ended up coming to a decision to say that this is a weakness in the rules of parliament, that it does not specifically address this issue. So our input, Chair, is severely limited by the fact that most of the time we were very lost. I remember the Chief Whip's first comment was, is this a verbal opinion? You know, it's a disclaimer that I'm putting, Chair, on our input. The second issue, Chairperson, there were two matters that we thought that Mr. Tekyane is dealing with. The first one was the issue of the conflict perceived, whatever it was, as it related to Honorable Skosana and Honorable Shekeling. Matters that were extensively canvassed in the legal opinion. The African National Congress did not make any submissions on that opinion because I think that we were generally comfortable with the issues that were being raised, even though we were still to interrogate it further. However, Chairperson, we did not interrogate it because even in the last meeting, we did indicate to the Chair that this opinion does not speak to the issue around Honorable Diane Kohler-Barnard. And we felt that that was something that was missing in the opinion for us to be able to engage it. Now, Chair, I hear Mr. Tekyane's verbal opinion on this matter and how he concludes it, but we think it's flawed in a number of respects. One, he says that when we are dealing with that matter, right, and then he limits it to 4.1.4. But if you look at our terms of reference, at the core of it is all these issues and issues of instability at crime intelligence, with General Mkhwanazi has said the role of members. He was busy pointing at all of us here. Some of you, right? You are getting information from intelligence services, and how then Mr. Tekyane begins to say that is only a matter of 4.1.4, I think is problematic. But secondly, we are not talking about independence or impartiality. We are talking about a person who is going to be called or likely to be called as a witness on the basis of the allegations that have been brought by General Mkhwanazi. And I don't think that that is still a question, Yoba. Did he make the allegation under oath? He sat in front of us, he made the allegation repeatedly to say that a member of this House has received intelligence information unlawfully. Now, I don't know. Mr. Tekyane seems to have information the rest of us don't have, because he seems to be even arguing against the allegation. I believe that as the ANC, we still take umbrage on that matter, and we are not necessarily agreeing. In fact, we are not agreeing as it relates to the issue of Honorable Diane Kohler-Barnard. I want to see this thing physically and practically, Chair. At which point in this ad hoc committee do we say, okay, now we're dealing with 4.1.2, you can participate? How is this going to work? So one day she will sit here and then she's going to move over to the other side and be a witness, because we're going to get to that. And what happens in the engagement and the interrogation of other issues that relate to intelligence information? What is her role meant to be, given the fact that we think that there can be some superficial separation on those matters? So that is part of our submission, Chair. I will give over to Other honorable members of the ANC?
No, thanks, Chair, and thanks to the legal team for their opinion. I think the first observation I want to make is that when we were presented with a legal opinion on the matters affecting the other honorable members of this committee, I think we were taken much more seriously. We were not treated like we were met in the bar or in the tavern. And so somebody pops up with some notes on his pocket and tell us what we must do. We're a committee of parliament. We are not anything other than what we are. And we want to be treated with that kind of respect. We were given a detailed legal opinion which was presented here. We were walked through that legal opinion for us fully to appreciate the basis upon which the Parliamentary Legal Division has come to certain conclusions. We don't have that before us today. In fact, what I think we have here now is some cut and paste, some of which might be taken from the DA submitted legal opinion. Now, I don't think we should be treated like that. I agree with Honorable Sangon. If the team had not written a report, we don't mind waiting for that report to be written and be properly provided. For instance, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi did not only make allegations in relating to a specific bullet point or point on our terms of references. He also made references to syndicates. And the point that I think should not be lost is a possibility that the honorable member may be required to appear before the committee. In fact, let me just put it plainly. Our view from the point of view of the ANC is that those allegations were very serious. It would be unfair and unjustified for the concerned member not to be afforded an opportunity to state her own side of the story. It's only logical that she should be allowed to do so. And so when we're giving an opinion, it must not be as though we are not contemplating allowing one of our own to appear before us and clear her own name. We are contemplating that. That is what we're contemplating about Honorable Diana Kolapanati. So, Chair, I don't think that, and I would imagine that when you are presented with a legal opinion, it must first and foremost be anchored directly from what the allegation was all about. And that has to be written down. Distill the allegation the way in which you understand it and link it to the law in question. That has to be written down. I'm not a practicing lawyer, but I understand that that is how those things are supposed to be handled. And once it is presented to us in that fashion, we can then be persuaded. I mean, the examples that were given to us here, I was saying to Honorable Sangone, I don't know where we're going now. And none of them are written down, by the way, for us to make references, let alone that we have no history of. Some of us were not members of parliament. We can't relate to those incidences. If they are not written down, substantively presented to us, it's even more of a problem. It's worse when we are using them to ground the basis upon which we are coming to certain conclusions. How to ground an argument on something we don't have? So, Chair, it's our considered view that the team must be given time to apply itself on this matter. And I must register this because I'm beginning to think that this is done deliberately. And let me explain why I'm saying that. You know, this thing has a potential to create a friction between, let me be particular, maybe the ANC and the DA, or the ANC together with MK against the DA. It has a potential because I think the DA is largely going to interpret this as an offensive towards a member of the DA. But why would the Legal Service of Parliament behave in a way that exacerbates that kind of thinking? Because when you keep the matter permanently on the agenda, you are invariably reinforcing what may be an attitude not yet maybe with the DA, but in future it might arise, that what is wrong with the ANC? Why are they targeting Kola Barnard? What is in for them on this matter? While we are dealing with a matter that is supposed to be settled properly, and we had said it before, if it's a legal opinion of Parliament, properly done, presented to us, even if we do not agree with it, but we will comply. We will express our own discomfort, if any, but we will still proceed to respect, because that's an opinion we're receiving from an institution that is meant to guide us in the course of our work. But Chair, I have to be very honest. We can't be happy with what is presented here and the way in which it has been organized. We don't agree with it as something that can be accepted as a credible presentation before a parliamentary portfolio committee. Thanks.
What do you propose?
I'm proposing, Chair, that let them do what they did before. Go back, write down all these things that have been presented here. Argue the point using the law cases that were mentioned here and others that may be found, but present a proper report to us in which we are going to be asked to agree or disagree.
Okay. Honorable Nhlanhla.
So, sorry, Chair, before I forget, we are not contesting the issues relating to Honorable Shigling and Honorable Skhosana. We view those as having been closed. Even then, our argument was that we don't think that the circumstances are exactly the same. That's the contention we're raising. The circumstances are not exactly the same. If Parliament says they are the same, so we can't remove them, sure, they must go and write that down and present it here on the screen.
Very clear proposal. Honorable Nhlanhla.
Thanks, Chair. Just two quick things. I disagree with the fact that the issue relating to Honorable Kona Barnard and it was the similar case of Honorable Adams as well, only affects a particular provision or a particular aspect as it relates to the terms of reference of this ad hoc committee, Chair. If you take a closer look on the objectives and the scope, that which has been leveled as an allegation against Honorable Kola Barnard and Honorable Adams actually affects almost all those provisions that are there. You can't want to isolate those allegations from political interference and all the related matters that are enlisted in the scope and the objectives of this committee. So I think, Chair, that if that's what the opinion wants to insinuate, then it have been developed from a wrong perception and a wrong context, because it does not only, it was central. That's why Chair was asking which aspect, that which the legal opinion suggests that we must only recuse them when we deal with that aspect. Because it is my belief that the nature of the allegations against Honorable Kola Barnard do not only affect a particular aspect, which is 4.1.4, I can't remember. You can check even in the scope, starting from 4.1 to 4.1.18. A lot of provisions there actually are directly affecting the allegations leveled against Honorable Kola Barnard. It is astonishing to receive a legal opinion of Parliament that does not make reference to the rules of the National Assembly. All we get and receive is the fact that at this particular date, so-and-so did this and that, did that, that one did that and all that. But there is no particular reference to two aspects that which are raised by the National Assembly rules, which is a conflict on the basis of financial interest or personal interest. I doubt, Chair, that would actually come to a conclusion that this is a solid legal opinion that does not touch the rules. Rule 30 of the National Assembly rules does make provisions on a potential conflict of interest from members. So it therefore means the legal services unit did not go to make a particular analysis on what particular personal or financial benefit that may potentially be there in relation to the nature of the allegations leveled against Honorable Barnard. So, Chair, I agree fully and support that. Let's give them another chance to go and rework this. And of course, the Chief Whip is correct. The issue relating to Honorable Shigeling and Honorable Skosana is quite different. And we thought that we have moved away from it, the issue of opening cases and stuff. I think this one is quite different and is quite similar to that of Honorable Adams. Thank you very much, Chair.
Charlie.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. I think my colleagues have already elaborated on matters from 4.1 to 4.16. But for me, what is disturbing, Chair, is that we look like, Medicans in this committee from the way we are treated by the legal department. And I think they are acting ignorantly in a sense that there's a little bit of dishonesty here. That this thing is done deliberately. As a matter of fact, General Mkhwanazi made it very clear here that he will go deeper if there's a need. We can't compare our issue with the issue of Honorable Barnard. And the nation is looking at us as parliament, that we must act with honesty. And if we are the one who are breaking the law, and we call ourselves lawmakers, it defeats that. Now, it should not be a political thing in any way. I don't want to get much deeper to say, out of the 87 members, we are still debating the issue of Honorable Barnard. I don't want to go to the merits of the issue here, but we know exactly what transpired. But for us to be, again, getting back to this issue and getting this medical treatment from the legal from our legal team, we're again getting embarrassed. I mean, we are sitting here, we are being told we don't have anything, we can't have reference, we don't have anything here with us. It's like we are gossiping in a sheshebin. Our legal team must up their game. In fact, I thought that there was a chief legal advisor here, but it looks like she has left already. But we can't operate like this. We can't operate like this. We are saying the South African Police Service has challenges, but ourselves here as members, now we are having a legal team which is dropping the ball. I thank you, Chair.
My friend, are you fine? Honorable Noval.
Yeah, no, I've been covered, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Shongwe. Honorable Cameron.
Thanks, Chair. Chair, it would be nice to have it on paper so that we can study it properly and in detail. It would be nice to put the issue to bed. So if we can get that, we can consider it and determine our action forward. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. Honorable, thank you so much. Honorable Matthews.
Chair, yes, let's get it in writing as an actual official legal opinion from the legal department of Parliament. And the sooner we do it, the better, so we don't go back and forth on this matter. We've closed 2 matters. Let's close this, because we don't want a situation again where we have to stop proceedings and then start having a discussion on whether someone is allowed to participate and what participation means, etc., etc. So thank you, Chair. That's our input.
Bangazita.
Well, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I think we go along with the view that we would need a written submission on this one. Thank you.
honorable souls.
Yeah, Chair. I think maybe the disclaimer should be that by submitting our opinion to the legal opinion is in no way posturing ourselves to say that we know better than the legal team, because we're also learning, but we are grateful for the constitutional imperative that allows us to share our opinion. And that's again what we are doing here today. So in our opinion, even when listening to Mr. Andile, it's concerning that when he mentions Honorable Barnard and he then testifies on her behalf and she says the information she has is not confidential. And so on that basis, because she says so, there's no need to test it. Whereas the allegation is that the information that she was in possession of confidential information. So it stands to reason that that should be tested. She should be on the witness stand. In our opinion, the issue between honorable members having a party stance versus prejudgment, our opinion is that when you open up a case, it's different from having a party position. When you open up a criminal case, you as the one opening it up, in our layman opinion, the understanding is that you have prejudged the person you're opening up the case against. You are saying you're opening up this case because you believe this person is guilty, and you are asking the justice system to either confirm your position or decline it. But as far as you personally is concerned, you are saying you've prejudged this person is guilty. Therefore, those who open up a case against witnesses has prejudged them. And so there's a reasonable apprehension of bias there. That's our opinion. On the issue of Honorable Breitenbach, I mean, there was a clear allegation that when Mr. Ndluli was employed, a criminal case was withdrawn during a time when Honorable Breitenbach was working at the NPA. And she directly responsible for that case. That's a material allegation. We totally ignore that. We say, well, it doesn't matter. So for me to sit here, like when the deputy minister was interrogated, to see Honorable Breitenbach talk down to him like that from a higher level of moral high ground, I question, you don't question. I'm sitting and I'm thinking, but equally, Honorable Breitenbach needs to be that side so that we do the same to her. But clearly, doesn't apply to her. Lastly, Honorable Cameron, Mr. Andile spoke about whether or not there is a reasonable apprehension of bias. I put the last time that it can be practically proven. When Honorable Cameron interrogated the National Commissioner on the accusation that the Portfolio Committee has failed in its duty, that was a material allegation. Now we are saying that politicians, us, we will not come and show bias. But here was a practical demonstration of bias when Honorable Cameron had the opportunity to question the National Commissioner. He then, in defense of that, he argued that the committee relied entirely on the information provided by SEP's leadership. He put that to the witness. I quote, he says, open quote, "How is it fair to publicly accuse the police committee of failure when SEPs withheld specific information, whether deliberate or not? The point is that it was not indicated," close quote. And then the general agreed. So there was bias there based on an allegation that was publicly made. So there's proof right there that this is what the rules wants to guard against. So, Chair, we maintain, in our opinion, there's a reasonable apprehension for bias. The members that are against whom allegations was made, we believe that they would be biased, as proven by what happened with Honorable Cameron. However, Chair, at this point, we are going to rest. We've given our opinion, and whatever's going to come back later or whatever happened today, we are okay with it, Chair. We are okay with the fact that we have just submitted our opinion. Our opinion is there. Our opinion is going to stay, that we believe that these members, 4 out of 4 members, except for the new honorable member from the DA, are all implicated because of the allegations, and that should be tested, to be fair. And so whether or not that happens, that's up to the House, but we rest now and we just put that as our opinion, and we don't expect a different result from whatever's going to come back later, whether it's in writing or not. So we are just satisfied that we had the opportunity to state our opinion, and our opinion stands. Thank you, Chair.
Andile.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Chair, and thanks to the feedback we've just received from the members. Perhaps, Chairperson, I should have prefaced my discussion by saying, you will recall that last week, Chairperson, when we, on the 15th of October, when we presented the opinion that relates to Honorable Skosana and Honorable Shikeling, we had indicated to you, Chairperson, that we've got standard operating procedures. And if you recall, Chairperson, that opinion, we put it together in 2 days, if my recollection serves me well. Yet our turnaround times, it's 7 days. Because remember, even today, the Chairperson had indicated to us that the meeting will be tomorrow in the evening. That's what the Chairperson had told us. Members are correct, Chairperson. We have not. There is a draft of this opinion, but it's just that given our internal processes in terms of quality assurance and so on, we could not come and present a draft here. That's why, Chairperson, we thought let's come and present it orally. Otherwise, members will get the written opinion before Friday, Chairperson. We commit to that. But also, Chairperson, we don't mind when members, Chairperson, differ with us. But part of what we have to protect, Chairperson, is this process and the institution itself. We don't want a situation, Chairperson, where there are legal challenges in relation to this process. And the fact of the matter is this, Chairperson, I think the point that I'm trying to make here is that all of us in this room, Chairperson, have got views, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think we will go back, Chairperson, put it in writing, a code relevant law, relevant case law, and so on. And of course, it may not be a product with which the members are going to agree with. That's why the Honorable Chief will put.
Let's not make a value judgments. What I want us to say is the Chief Whip has said it very well, that let's have a written document which will be made available to the committee members. And when you develop or you improve that draft, you can give us the legal opinion, and then also develop an addendum that responds to the submissions that have been made by the PA and the DA. Because you have those two submissions already. explain them what do they mean, and how do you understand them as the legal team against the opinion that you have developed. If there is a point of convergence, you will say no. I mean, there is agreement between our legal opinion and the DA and the PA. Where there is divergence, you say on principles of law or on legal, what you call judicial precedent, we disagree with these views on the following areas. And I agree with you about the integrity of Parliament, but it's not only the integrity of Parliament, it's the integrity of Parliament and its processes. Yes, because an institution, if we become institutional in approach to say, we are going to stand in front of this institution and defend it with our might, with everything that we have. Even if an institution is an oppressive institution, I don't think that let's defend the integrity of Parliament and its processes. And thirdly, we must be seen to be acting in public interest. And this is the last is one that I always emphasize, that constitution and national legislation in South Africa is in the name of the citizens. That is the understanding that we must have about the architect of law in the Republic of South Africa. So go and look at every document that you have, the document, the Constitution of the Republic, the rules of Parliament, the terms of reference that we have developed. And when you have gone through all that, come back and say, how do we defend the integrity of this institution and its processes? And how do we act in public interest? And how do we ensure that the rights of the citizens of this country are guaranteed in everything that otherwise we are going to miss steps as public representatives if we don't look at all those things. So, in a nutshell, is that the law must be made to serve the people. That is, in other respects, the Marxist conception of the law. It must be made to serve the people, and that is why, Chief Whip, you say, where it doesn't, serious interventions have to be made for conditions to change. So we will wait for that, and the members will receive your written submission. They will consider it, and then a decision will be made. And the last point that I want to make, honorable members, is that in the meantime, when the committee does not have a decision, we live with what we have. And I will want you to expedite this matter so that when we come to deal with other appearances, we must not have a situation like the one we had last time, where members were asking whether Honorable Kolapanat must participate or not. Yeah. Thank you. Can we now move to the next item? The next item, honorable members, was the matter of the IGI. You will remember that the legal team had reported earlier that they have written to the IGI for consultations. And the IGI had said that he was waiting for guidance from the JSCI. And now the IGI, Inspector General of Intelligence, has been suspended. And when the legal team wrote back to him again, he said he's not able to come because he's now on suspension. So there was no consistency with regard to the answers that he was giving to the legal team. It is not his office that is appearing, because in my understanding is that the office can never go wrong, but the incumbent in office is the one who takes decisions and acts in a wrongful way. So the incumbent can't say, because now I'm out of office, I cannot appear before the committee. But then the report that we got today is that it's like now he voluntarily wants to appear before the committee, before the legal team for consultations. So I think we must just deal with this matter once and for all, to say that in the event the legal team reports back to us that he is not cooperating, he must be summoned. He must be subpoenaed. Agreed? Thank you so much. And then one other matter before we go to the last of the public submission. One other matter is consequential to the report that was presented by the senior counsel and his team, is that it looks like by the 28th of November, we will not be done, especially that we still have over 250 public submissions that have been made. And so it will be a gross injustice, honorable members, if the public make submissions to Parliament and we do not consider their submissions and say time has run out. This Parliament is meant to represent the people of South Africa. And so my suggestion as the chair would be that let's do a report, not a report on the work that have been done so far, but a report that is intended to provide information to the office of the Speaker that the committee started on its work on this date, and this is the work that has been done. We are at this point, and from the way we see things, by the 28th of November, the committee would not have finished its work, and motivate why it is important for the committee to be given time to consider public submissions. Because I think more than any other thing is the people who we represent, who want to hear how we're dealing with their problems. If we were going to deal with the problems of us as institutions of the state, away from the people that we claim to represent, that will amount to misrepresentation. So that is the suggestion I'm making, that if we can have a report and motivation why it is important that a consideration must be made. Is that supported, honorable members? Honorable Sangoni?
Supported, Chairman.
So the report will come here, Honorable Skosana, before we take it to, so that all members can see what is being submitted and what the motivations are. Honorable Skosana?
We support, Chair, and you know, you scared me. You said 250. But obviously, we can't have all of them at once.
No, that is the decision that you will still make when you go through all those submissions. But for now, you must just know it's over that number. In fact, it's over 700. Just that others were duplicating themselves, but the report is coming here now. Honorable Cameron.
All good, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Matthews.
Supported, Chair.
Honorable Bangazita.
Supported.
Thank you, Honorable Sols.
Supported, Chair.
Thank you so much. So we will prepare that report, Dr. Tuli, and motivate why we think there is still important work that must be done. So the last item I hand over to you to Honorable Sangweni.
Richard, before you move to the last item, I apologize that I'm not quite sure where this fits in. I didn't hear your response to Honorable Mateus's question about the process to get Mr. Nhlanhla here. And I'm reminded of it when you spoke about subpoenaing the IGI.
Yeah.
So can we just have clarity on, because he was also part of the Golden Blocks, what process is going to be followed? Do we know how long it takes? Is it a subpoena or any other way, Chair?
No. It's a simple procedure. The authorities that play custodianship over Mr. Nhlanhla are the ones who must go and look at the law that governs such circumstances. And then they are the ones who will respond to us and tell us that they are able to bring him, whether they have to fly him here or train him here or car him here, or whatever method that is possible. And security arrangement that they must make so that when a person is here must not escape in our presence and they come and say, no, you were the ones who said we must bring him here. All those things, I think they know the law and the protocol they should follow, what security arrangements must be made. But what is very key is that he belongs to category A of the important witnesses that must come before the committee. So it's for them to make arrangements. So once the senior counsel and his team say, we want to schedule consultations, the authorities will say, it may not be possible for us to bring him to Cape Town. You will have to come here and do consultations with him. And then from there,
to make a recommendation that we don't necessarily, I don't know, number one, if we're going to have a soft copy available, because it's a lot of names on the table to go through on all the public submissions. So my recommendation is that perhaps the team can just give us an overview, then they make the soft copy available, similarly to what we do when we take in submissions in committees for filling vacancies.
I want to allow them to present first.
It's going to be long.
And then it's not long. They are presenting only 2 pages. Remember, only 2 slides. Remember yesterday, we have agreed that we will need a day where we will come and go through all those and honorable members, remember it was yourselves. It was yourselves who were saying that some submissions are being responded to even before you see them. So yesterday, the agreement has been that let them come and tell us what is it that they have received, and the committee will then get a day where it will sit. They will come to your meeting with a proposal and say, look, we have told you that we have received X number of submissions.
Okay.
From the submissions we receive, we believe the following submissions need committee attention. People must appear. The following submissions can be referred to the relevant subcommittee. The following submissions, you can seek written explanations, blah, blah, blah.
No problem. I thought we were doing that now. That's why.
No.
Thank you.
We're not going through the 700 now. We just have a 2 slides presentation.
No problem.
Dr. Tuli, can you please take us through?
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Good afternoon to members and to colleagues as well. I'm going to be very quick with the presentation, Chair. Maybe put it on slide mode. Slide mode. Okay, I will just continue. The first slide is really about reminding members about the decision they have taken to actually embark on a public participation process. And consequently, we were asked to actually advertise the work of the committee and call for submissions from the members of the public. And the closing date for that was the 17th of October, 2025. And members will also recall that we use various platforms to solicit those submissions from members of the public. We actually went the way of advertising the work of the committee in the various newspapers, Parliament's website, and on various social media platforms as well. And South Africans have actually responded to that call, and the committee received 725 emails or submissions. Members would understand why I'm referring to submission as whether it's email or submissions. What we have done as a team, we have conducted the first line in organizing the information that we received. That means that we had to look at what we got, and we discovered that there was duplication, that from the people who were sending these emails to the committee. And we also found unrelated submissions that were made, people talking about spare parts for cars and things like that. So we classify that as unrelated to the work of this committee. But we also had automated emails that look like AI or a website, and then people can just go in there and then they will say yes or no, but there is nothing really in terms of the work of this particular committee. And these emails are also saying the same thing as well. An example of that is that there were about 120 emails from the same email address without any inputs with regards to the work of this committee. And subsequently, with those emails or submissions that were actually a duplication, we kind of treated them as one submission that is made to the committee itself. So we then had a total of 286 submissions, where we then received, that were actually received from this process, and they had substantive information with regards to the work of the committee. And the summary of the submissions is actually prepared in a form of the name of the person, for example, and what the issues were raised by the person, him or herself, and that summary, the intention is actually to present it to the next committee meeting. And the last point that we would like to make as a team is that we have noted the sensitivity of some of the information that we received from the submitters and the issues that they related to. And Chair, we would like the committee to actually consider the management of that information so that all these people are treated fairly as well. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tuli. Nicolette, you had to take the trouble of going through every submission that came your way, and we want to applaud you for that. Is there anything you want to say? This is your work.
Thank you, Trina. I'm covered. Thank you.
You're fine. Okay. So that is the report, honorable members, and the suggestion that we have made. Maybe, Dr. Tuli, is it possible that the report can be made available to members before we go to the meeting to take decisions.
Chair, certainly we will do that. Thank you.
And the sensitivities that you talk about, what do you want members to do when they have the report?
Chairperson, I would say that when we actually have knowledge of the submitters and the issues that they have raised with regards to the work of this committee, that members are actually very sensitive about it. They can freely discuss that in a committee meeting, but perhaps that committee meeting, but it's up to you, Chair, really, whether that meeting...
What you are saying is that once they have that information, they must conduct themselves like honorable members.
Yes, Chair. Yes.
You must not hear a story of Nhlanhla who was at Ramamabolo saying, you see, I have your names here. Yeah? That's what they are saying. She's saying, Honorable, that the information is very sensitive. Somewhere people are making allegations about their seniors at their workplaces. So, but you are leaders. There is no way the information can be kept away from you. You are given this information so that in advance, the day you come to a meeting and there is a proposal to say, these are the matters that we think must appear before the committee, you would have gone through that report. For sure, you can appreciate that is going to be a long report of about 286 matters. And for sure, where you are, there are other members of society who are also calling you to say, I have made a submission. I want you to check if my submission is there. Yeah, so let's get that information and verify whatever matter may be included or may be outstanding so that we complement each other. We do this work in such a way that the people of South Africa will feel that they are being represented by the leaders that they have elected. Is there anyone who wants to have a bite? Let me check if there is a need for me to rotate the matter. Are you happy, honorable members? Okay, thank you so much. Bonani, do we still have any other item on the... I think the items I had are exhausted. I want to check from where you are sitting as the secretary. Are there still any other items that you think the committee should discuss? The secretary says, well done. Well done for today. I want to thank you, honorable members, for your participation in the committee meeting. I thought the meeting will not take long because I have a sore eye. I must rush to the doctor. But at least I stayed the course. And thank you so much, honorable members. Thank you so much, Dr. Tuli and your team. Nicolette, we can't stop thanking you. I'm trying to check with Bonani if there may be a witness around we can call it. Honorable members, I want to suggest that we start at 11 o'clock on Tuesday. Yes, 11 o'clock on Tuesday. If you conduct yourselves the way you did yesterday, we will have another good day next week, Tuesday. All the best, honorable members. Let's meet again on Tuesday at 11 or 11 Yeah. Op dinsdag 11 Thank you so much.
And whose further dates are not available. There's some witnesses indicated by the blue block who's required to give some limited evidence, and who we suggest can give us written responses. And there's some witnesses whose relevance at this stage is unclear and should either be considered for if there is going to be another phase, then we could do so. We kicked off with Lerato, if you can just move to Khumalo. Is obviously an important and a key witness, the project leader of the PKTT, but we understand that he is going to be called by the Commission probably from next week and give evidence for 2 to 3 weeks. We're also not sure about his medical condition. Lieutenant General Sentumele, that's with the dockets, who received an instruction from Lieutenant General Khumalo to move the dockets. We submit it that evidence is not strictly necessary. Nkabinde, the name has cropped up repeatedly, is an important witness, and we've proposed calling Nkabinde on 13 and 14 November. Major General Rabi is in the National Commissioner's office, and who's the one, certainly according to General Sabia, who drafted the letter